Well, good morning, everybody. We have an exciting day today. We have an amazing interview lineup we have scheduled, and I have sitting on my left, fully slept, caffeinated, ready to go, and beautiful Miss Kira Untapped.
Randy Weckerly is to my right, your left.
Yep, and I don't even understand, why does it always go backwards?
Because look, see, Neil
Hey,
is already ready.
He said, "Hey guys, let's bring Neil in here. This is going to be a great interview."
Woohoo!
For a long time, and I can't wait to get Neil on.
We are bringing you
somewhere down at a roadside rest stop. We understand our GPS satellite has found him and located. There.
Hey,
Neil.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
How are you,
Fantastic, fantastic. You hear me loud and clear?
You are perfect.
Beautiful.
Best office we've seen yet. Looks
it could
big
be worse.
And natural. Yeah.
Could be worse. Yeah, I'm at a. Uh-oh, what
just a minute. We had an explosion. Our tripod, Miss Kira, we have a problem with this.
It happens.
Right.
Sometimes.
We have
when you're.
Hold on just a minute, Dale. We're experiencing an earthquake here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, did you guys get into Did you get into the libations before the interview started?
No,
not yet.
Okay, this is sort of early today. All right, we're just gonna hold it. Maybe I think, Miss Kira, we're gonna look at you all day. All right, I'm gonna be the voice of the net. All right.
I got it.
All right.
We'll have half face.
All right. Let me give
There
you
we
one
go.
more. Let's
Okay.
Anyway, we're going to.
There you are.
Yeah, we've got it. Neil is. Where are you, Neil?
I'm somewhere in the great state of Maryland right now. We were in Baltimore for a few events last night. We're heading down to D.C. To do a few more events. I'm with our brewmaster, actually, who's on another phone call. We're with our regional sales manager as well. So we got the whole family out here in Maryland. Should be nice.
Holy. And I thought we were talking to you somewhere down in Tampa. How wrong was that?
You know, they've got me on the road an awful lot these days. So I'm based in Tampa, right at the brewery. But you know, where have I been? I was in Orlando earlier this week. I was in I don't even remember. I'm on the road an awful lot, but based in Tampa. Spend a lot of time at the brewery. You know, making sure that we're getting the word out about Cigar City. It's been great.
Well, we found out that you have distribution up here in Illinois.
Wisconsin.
And Wisconsin too. So
we're in both, correct. Wisconsin's just started about a month ago now, and the reception's been amazing. It's really been fantastic up there.
That's great.
Yeah.
So the history, I was reading on your website, the history is rich and deep. Can you give us a 1 minute or 2 minutes or however long you want to give us what's going on? Tell us the history of that. It's very interesting.
Sure. So we were founded as a company in 2007 by Joey Redner. Joey's a fifth generation Floridian. He's lived his whole life in Tampa, and he was looking at the metro area around Tampa, about 3.2 million people in the Tampa Bay area about 10 years ago. And we had fewer than 5 breweries in the whole area. So he really saw a wide open playing field for the craft beer market. He's not only is he a big beer geek, he's a big history buff as well. So he wanted to tie Florida history and Tampa history into his brewery as much as he could. So you can't talk about Tampa and Tampa history without talking about cigars and tobacco. Late 1800s, early 1900s, Tampa was the biggest purchaser of Cuban-made tobacco in the world. It was known as the cigar capital of the world. There were hundreds of thousands of people employed in cigar manufacturing. So it was known as the cigar capital of the world. That's where the name Cigar City comes from. So we've been brewing since 2009. We're now the second largest craft brewery in the state of Florida, which is fantastic. We're distributed in 22 states, and our Highlight IPA, that's our big seller. That's our lead horse. That one's the #1 selling craft 6-pack can in grocery stores in the entire country, and we're only in 22 states.
Wow.
It's a monster.
Wow. Yeah.
So is that the one that I should go pick up after this interview?
100%. That's the one most people are familiar with. Are you familiar with the game Highlight?
I don't think so.
So I always, I'm not trying to put a date on anybody, but I always say for people over the age of 35, it was the thing in the beginning of Miami Vice. That thing with the big wicker scoop on the end of your arm. It sort of played like racquetball.
The game Highlight. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sure.
So Florida is one of the few places in the world where they still play Jai Alai, so that's sort of where the Florida history and the Florida culture comes into that beer. But big 7.5% American IPA, citrusy, a lot of tropical fruit flavor, and the bitterness takes a big backseat. That's what really makes it a unique IPA.
Yeah, every year we go to the PGA show up in Orlando. I think we found Jai Alai up there, and we'd go out, a couple evenings and introduce people to it. And basically, it was fun to watch and have a couple drinks along the way, and it was a lot of fun. So that's great. Well, we with our Links and Libations magazine and our podcast, well, we're in Wisconsin. We're about 3 weeks from frost.
Right.
We're about six weeks for snow. And
snow!
So
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I don't like that thing at all.
You just leave it. You just let us, the professionals handle it.
Right.
Yeah. The way we're going to do it this year, we're going to put a snowblower on the front of the car, duct tape it on, and
Okay.
when we drive south, and somebody says, "What's that?" We know we're home. We hand it to them, and you figure it out.
I think that's a good game plan right there. I like it.
Yeah, more about you. Anyway, we want to open up, make sure that our golfers golf and then they sip. And when the snowbirds come to Florida, the biggest and the best is where they're going to want to go. So, we want to work with you frequently and often to get this story out because you're everywhere. And they got the blue ribbon. Didn't he just say the biggest?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Second largest brewery in the state of Florida. The biggest brewery in the state of Florida is actually Yuengling. They make more beer and sell more beer in Florida than they do in Pennsylvania. So
Really?
we're not catching up to Yuengling anytime soon, but we're really happy to be counted among the largest breweries in the Southeast. We're really excited about it.
Well, you're a great spokesman for it. I also noticed on here, I'm going to have to jiggle a little bit because I'm doing the right hand, left hand.
I got it.
There you go, Miss Kira. There's some interesting things. The Order of the Red Banner. I mean, go to your website. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So again, Joey, the guy that started our company, not only is he a big beer geek, he's a big history buff as well. So when he was trying to come up with the name for his Russian Imperial Stout, he said, well, why not name it after a famous Russian? So a guy named Georgy Zhukov was the most successful Soviet general of World War II. So he said, all right, well, let's call it the Marshal Zhukov's Imperial Stout. Big 11.5% Imperial Stout. It's a monster of a beer. It's delicious though. It's only released certain times a year, just usually once the cooler weather starts, which in Florida is, once it dips below 80, it gets that's considered cool weather.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Did you feel that? It's just, I'll be slightly bruised,
just a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We're okay. We're strong here.
So
we're thick-skinned.
Yeah.
So we get so excited about releasing Marshal Zhukov's because it's not available year-round that we throw a big dinner around it where we pair usually 5 or 6 different courses with different versions of that Russian Imperial Stout. So we'll do our regular Marshal Zhukov's, we'll do Marshal Zhukov's with vanilla and hazelnuts, we'll do Marshal Zhukov's with coconut, and we pair it with different dishes in different restaurants. It's fantastic. So we call it the Order of the Red Banner dinner.
That is awesome.
Now, do you do these right at your brewery, or where are the dinners held?
So we do a few different restaurant partners around Florida and around our distribution footprint. The very first time we did it, though, we did it actually inside of our cooler at the brewery. So we gave everybody coats, we gave everybody big furry Russian hats, and we actually served dinner inside of the cooler at the brewery. It was really, really neat.
Well, you're going to have to give us that because those are the things we want to be able to put on our website and on our Facebook page. We're going to do a lot of this through Facebook, and we'll get you on a schedule. I want to know about that. I know
I'm
Kira
a
does
huge
too.
history buff, so I
We-
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I think we can find some beer for you as well. We'll find some Marshal Zhukov's for you.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
I know
she
a
looks
guy.
a little, well, being that we're the ones doing this every day, and we've just had a ball doing it. When we got to your website and I saw this page, I was like, now that's going to be a lot of fun. So is there a lot of pre-planning? Now, you have a lot in here. It says, catch your Order of the Red Banner dinners, following locations. You're all over it says you got New York City, Birmingham, Alabama, New Jersey, Jacksonville. Why? It's just it's a great list.
Absolutely. And all of those places have incredible food scenes. And really, our brewmaster, Wayne, the guy that I'm traveling with this week, He's the guy writing the recipes. He wrote the Marshall Zhukov's recipe and the High Lie IPA recipe. He comes from a culinary background. He worked in kitchens for many, many years. So when he's designing beers, he really has food pairing and he has sort of culinary inspiration in mind. So really pairing our different beers with different styles of food and, you know, these different very, very talented chefs, it really is a slam dunk. It makes things very, very cool because the food brings out different flavors of the beer. The beer is going to accentuate different flavors of the food. It adds a whole nother dimension to the beer. It's exceptional.
Well, we're gonna, you know, every Friday. I don't know if you catch on. We have the lead chef of the PGA Tour. Dave Trevelani.
Very cool.
And he's a hoot to work with.
Yeah.
And he does a thing at Christmas times. I'm just, you know, chefs are, and again, Saturday, what I do is I take these recipes and make a mess of my kitchen.
He makes me hungry.
Yeah, I cook and then put them up. We have a lot of fun with it. Anyway, Dave, what he does, be interested, try to get us all, see if we can do this. What he does at Christmas time, he goes to Hawaii or Guam, and he feeds the sailors on the submarines.
Oh,
so
wow.
Would that be, maybe we can ship over. I don't know if guys in the Navy drink beer, but maybe it's time for them to start. So, you know.
I think they might. If I know military folks correctly, then I know they drink it. They drink some.
Well, we'll have to get us all hooked up on doing that. That's going to be
love it.
fun.
I love it.
Dave, and of course with his reach in the PGA Tour, it's been a lot of fun for us. But you know, we're looking to come down. Do you have like you're in Tampa? Let's talk about Tampa's the location that we were looking at.
Yeah.
When we come down there, I know they have a lot of great golf courses. Do you work with any golf courses locally in your area? Or
we work with a ton. We've done beer dinners at clubhouses, at golf resorts. We're all over the state of Florida. Any golf course that's really worth its salt in the state of Florida is going to have some of our beer available. So that High Lie IPA, it's delicious, 7.5%. So after 3 or 4 out on the links, it'll catch up with you at 7.5%. So when we go out golfing, we usually go for some of the lower stuff. We have a lager. It's just called Cigar City Lager, 4.5%, light, crisp, easy drinking. That'll probably get you through, you know, to the 12th or 13th hole. If you have a couple high lies, you know, you might not make it past hole number 4.
Well, that's okay. Not a problem. That's about, you know, my age, 4 is enough, really. Honestly.
Yeah, I believe it.
Well, yeah, honestly, the people coming into the game of golf, 4 to 6 holes, perfect. You know, so it's
certainly
you've got the timer already set perfectly. So you can join your email list. I'm sure you probably have a lot of information that goes out there.
Absolutely.
Where you're located.
Yeah, and the website's got information on coming to visit the brewery. If you come down to Florida from Wisconsin or Illinois, anywhere, come visit the brewery. We're right by the Tampa airport. We're a 5-minute drive from the Tampa airport. We're right by the spring training facility for the New York Yankees. We're right by Raymond James Stadium where the Bucks play. If you want to call that playing, if that's what the Buccaneers do these days, but it's pretty embarrassing. But we're right by the stadium.
Wow.
At least it's entertaining, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing you can say about Jameis Winston. He's entertaining.
And then, Neil, how many beers do you guys have on tap at your brewery?
We have 36 draft lines, plus 2 beer engines, plus nitro lines. So when you come to the brewery, even if you come every single day in a week, you're going to have different beers available every single day. So we do beers that never see distribution. We do beers that literally only 1 keg will be available, and the only place to get some of that beer is at the tap room in Tampa. It's a really fantastic place to come and have a few beers and try stuff that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, and I've played golf at that golf course that's near the airport.
Yeah.
Very interesting. The out of bounds the ball can go on the runway.
Yeah.
So a lot of damage. You know, it's the scariest thing I've ever done. I was playing in a tournament, didn't go well. Anyway, no, a lot of fun. Great area. So anyway, let's stay in touch and let's get all the events. You know, we will give you the link to this to put up. And again, you have number 1 nationally. Did I hear that right?
Number 1 selling craft 6-pack can in grocery stores in the entire country.
I can't wait to go and try it right after this interview. I'm gonna leave for an hour and then I'll come back.
Well, we're heading down to the PGA show on the 22nd of January.
Absolutely.
And we'll be there 22nd to 24th. You're only an hour and 10 minutes away, and we'll get hooked up and we'll come down and do a live visit. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Come on down. Beers are on us.
All right, well, let's make this a regular feature because we want to work with you. When you're doing stuff nationally, we stretch all the way from Florida to Hawaii to Alaska to New York. So
and worldwide.
And so it's
Fantastic,
not just Wisconsin, just not Wisconsin snowbirds, but yeah, our writers, we now stretch from South Africa to Australia and the points in between. So
not bad at all.
Bringing a lot of reach. Anyway, really appreciate your time. Be safe on the road. I like your office. The background looks beautiful. And be safe, Neil. We'll be in touch. All right. Really appreciate it.
Oh, this has been a blast. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.
Yeah, we want to do more. Just stay in touch. It'll be great.
Will
Thanks
do.
a lot.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
all right. Bye-bye.
Bye, Neil. Cheers.
Bye-bye.